I just bought my first MPC, and I just made my first beat on the MPC. Now, this isn't very good, but remember, I come from a DAW world. I've been using Ableton for like the past 10 years, and so I'm just going to give you my first impressions on the MPC and kind of the workflow that I have quickly adapted to after watching 1 or 2 videos. This is still with the old software. I do have a few videos coming out where I will be trying out the new software after upgrading. I know that MPC 3.0 just released. It's now out of beta. I'll be downloading and testing that out in a future video. But for now, I'm going to load up an empty project. I bought this thing used, and the previous owner left an SD card with a ton of samples on here. So we'll find something, chop it up, lay some drums down, and see if we can make a beat. So without further ado, this is the MPC from an Ableton Live user's perspective. Alright, so let's go ahead and load up an empty project. Okay, so right away we have sequence, track, and program. So basically we can go and browse through our different places, which could be like internal storage on the MPC or some external like SD cards, and we can load up different samples into like the sample pool, and then what we can do is either make new programs or whatever you have, and then you can switch these programs. Basically, you want to have one program per track, I think, and then we can make different sequences to arrange our song. So from an Ableton perspective, a sequence is like a scene. And then your programs would be your instruments, like your drum racks or your other Ableton devices, and you want to have them on corresponding tracks so that you can mix them. So for now, what I'll do is just look for some drums. Alright, so I've loaded up some nice drums here, and what I do is, and I'll just lay down a pattern to act kind of as a metronome. So I'll use the tap tempo here. I'm thinking like, and you can see that we can set tempo per sequence, and right now it's blinking because it's not global. So if I held shift and press the tempo again, now we're matched to the global and we have 85, and I think we'll just keep it there because all of our sequences are going to be in the same tempo for this project. Now I'll also adjust the bars, and I'll put that to 4. So we're starting at 1, ending at 4, and we are looping. We're not transposing this. This all looks good. We're on track 1, and we have our program. If we go ahead and click that, you can see we can scroll through our different programs. Right now we have our drums, so let's just try and record something. Alright, so I definitely fell out of tempo there. So let's see if we can quantize this. I am pretty rusty at this. Let's see if we can navigate it. Okay, grid view. That should be more obvious. That's just my mistake. That is pretty obvious. And actually, I'll just go ahead and draw these in. Alright, so that was actually really nice editing this with a touchscreen. Whoops. Let me just hit undo, actually. Yeah, that's a much better way to do it. Alright, so I'm learning the buttons. Things are working a little bit more quickly. Took me a little bit to find out where to edit the actual notes, but once I did, really fast. Again, I'm pretty impressed with this so far, I must say. So let's go back into the browse mode, see if we can find a sample to chop up, and we'll be back into it. So yeah, there's just like a ton of samples in here. I'm sure we'll be able to find something. Alright, I am just gonna load that up and we'll see what we could do. So if I go to sample edit, I can quickly switch between the samples that are in the sample pool by using this. And here's that sample we just loaded up. We can hit trim to go to chop. And from here, I think I'll do threshold. Maybe I'll do regions instead. Alright, so we'll keep that sample in here, but we'll keep on looking. Alright, now we found something a little bit easier to work with. Yeah, so these samples are pretty good. I don't think I need to chop them up anymore, but what we need to do is convert this. So I'm going to go ahead and hold shift, and that's going to bring up a whole new menu. We'll go ahead and hit convert, a new drum program using slicing. That sounds good to me. I'm going to press do it. And now if we go back actually to our main, we can hit track 2 here because our drums are on track 1, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, our drums are on track 1, so let's go to track 2, and then we can switch our program to these chops that we now have. Now we can record into the sequence. So it's a little bit of a mess up, but this is a great time to get familiar. Oh, what is it called? Grid view? Yeah. So one thing that's not really obvious is, there's the velocity. Okay, I'm lying to you all. Oh, okay, you have to be in draw mode and then you can edit the velocity. Yeah, that totally makes sense. That's on me. Alright, let's see if we can't find some bass. So we're gonna load a plugin. So if we hold shift and hit the notes button, we can come in here and set this to F minor. I think natural minor is fine. I want notes mode, so that I'm just in the key. We'll go down. Alright, so one thing that I'm noticing is that this is definitely made for sampling. You know, it would be nice if I had some bass sounds to plug into this. It doesn't necessarily provide the best bass sounds, but we're going to rock with what we got. Let's see if we can record something in here. So one thing I would really like to explore more of is the mixing. I haven't really been able to take a look at the mixing capabilities of the MPC One, but I definitely look forward to doing that. For now, I think this is a really solid start, and I'm really impressed with the quick workflow. So I'm going to save this project, guitar. So yeah, this has been an Ableton user's kind of first experience with an MPC. I really look forward to getting more into the software, especially into the mixing side of things, and even taking a look at MPC 3. Subscribe if you're looking forward to that as well. See you in the next one. Peace.